KP classes dedicated to excellence.
Hello everyone, this is Anik Chandra from KP Classes, and in today's video we will be discussing all the important details you need to know with respect to NATA 2025, and I'll also take you through the details as to how we at KP Classes will help you prepare for this NATA examination in the best possible manner. As you are aware, the Council of Architecture has already released the official brochure for NATA 2025 on the website of NATA, the official website of NATA. Let us look into the details of this particular, some important pointers and takeaways with respect to this brochure. We will have a thorough understanding of the exam pattern, the syllabus, the cutoff or the qualifying marks, and the exam pattern, the question paper, the number of questions. We'll look into all these details. So this is going to be a very important video for those who are targeting for the upcoming NATA examination, because like every competitive examination, the first step even before preparing is to know the details of the examination, the syllabus, the number of questions, what is the mode of the exam, how many attempts you have. So these critical details we are going to discuss in this video. So make sure you watch the video till the end to have a thorough understanding of all these important pointers before you kickstart your preparation for this examination. So firstly, like last year, this year too, NATA 2025 also will be valid for 2 years, just like NATA 2024. So the first basic point to understand is with respect to the calculation of the final score, because you can write this exam 3 times. So there's a time duration given. We'll talk about the dates also. Just like last year, you can attempt the NATA examination in 2025 also for a maximum of 3 attempts. So you can select yourself either 1 attempt or 2 attempts or 3 attempts. Now the calculation of the final score which they'll be considering for your admission is based on this particular table as per the official brochure of the NATA available on the NATA website. If you have appeared last year as well, if you have attempted NATA 2024 as well, and you have a valid NATA 2024 score, in that case, along with that, if you're writing NATA 2025 with only one attempt, in that case, better of both the scores, last year's score and this year's score. So if you have a valid last year's score, and if you're writing this exam this year one time, then the better score of NATA 2024 and this year's 1 attempt score, whichever is better, that will be considered as the final score for your admissions. If you have attempted last year NATA examination and if you have a valid NATA 2024 score, and in this year you are selecting 2 attempts, if you're writing the NATA 2025 exam in 2 times, with 2 attempts, in that case also best of those 3 scores will be considered, best of 2 attempts of NATA 2025 and the last year's final score of your NATA, that will be considered for your admission this year. And if you are writing, irrespective of if you have attempted NATA 2024 or not, irrespective of if you have written or if you have not written, in that case, if you're writing all the 3 attempts this year, if you're selecting NATA 2025 for 3 attempts, in that case, best of only these 3 scores will be considered for your NATA 2025 score. The previous year score will not have any validity, that will be rendered invalid in case you write the exam 3 times. So what do we understand by this? If you have already written NATA 2024 and if you're planning to improve the score this year, it is ideal for you to write, you can select any of these 3. But if you have already a good score of NATA and if you want to improve it further, then you have to decide if you want 1 or 2 attempts and have that 3rd score which you already have valid. Irrespective of all that, if you have not written NATA in 2024 and if you're writing it for the first time in 2025, then write all the 3 attempts. That would be our suggestion always. You have to increase the chances of improving your score. So write the exam in all the 3 attempts. Best of the 3 attempts will be considered. Now this is a good change. Actually earlier there were also cases where average of the scores would have been taken, average of the top 2 scores would have been taken. So let me not confuse you by talking about the past pattern. The good thing is Council of Architecture has decided for the advantage of the students. They have considered only best of the 3 attempts will be considered as the final NATA score, and that's a very good welcome move by the Council of Architecture. So that's with respect to the validity of the score and also how many attempts and how the final score will be decided upon. Now coming to the next set of points, the date and time of the examination. The exam will begin from, so it is already, by the time you're watching this video, the attempts of NATA have already begun. The final attempts will be in the month of June of this year 2025. That's the duration, and in this duration, every Friday and Saturday are the days dedicated for the NATA examination. So NATA will be scheduled on Fridays. On Fridays, you'll have only afternoon session. There is no morning session on Fridays. So you can either select Friday's afternoon session, which will be 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. It will be a 3-hour examination, 180 minutes. And the exam will be from 1:30 to 4:30 on Fridays. On Saturdays, you will have two options. You can either attempt in the morning session or the afternoon session. The morning session time duration for Saturdays will be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is afternoon 1 o'clock. From morning 10 to 1, that is 3 hours in the daytime of Saturday. Or you can also select the afternoon session, that will be 1:30 to 4:30 on the same day, that is on Saturday. So the exam will either be in the afternoon of Friday or in the morning of Saturday or afternoon of Saturday. You can select your preferred date and time when you're applying for the NATA, be it first attempt, second attempt or third attempt. Now, by when should you apply? So if you're planning to apply for NATA examination, what is the expected time by which you need to complete your application, and when will you get your result? These details are also clearly given on the website of NATA examination maintained by the Council of Architecture. Let us also talk about that. As far as the closing date for the registration is considered, so whichever weekend, so exam is basically Friday and Saturday. If you consider that Friday and Saturday is the weekend part, in that week before the examination, before Friday, the Monday which you get just before that Friday. So if I want to write the exam this Monday, this upcoming Friday, then I need to complete my registration by Monday 11:59 p.m. That is before midnight. Basically, you need to complete your application on Monday itself. If you complete, so that's the deadline. For the upcoming Friday examination that week, the same week's Monday midnight, before midnight, you need to complete your registration. That's the closing date for the upcoming weekend. Similarly, for the Saturday's morning and also afternoon session both, there are two sessions on Saturday. For Saturday's test, the deadline or the closing date for the application, closing date and time for the application will be Tuesday of that same week. If I want to write the exam this Saturday, I need to complete the application by Tuesday of that same week, before the Tuesday just before that Saturday. I need to complete the application before midnight again by 11:59 p.m. That's the closing date and time for the application. There is also a correction window available. Once you complete your application, there will be one more day, 24 hours of time for any correction if you have. That again is something which is very good, because sometimes students tend to find out some errors after the completion of the application. So Council of Architecture has, for the betterment of students, has provided this scope for correction for one day after the completion of the registration also. And the publication of the admit card, you can download the admit card so to go and write down at the examination at the center. So the admit card, that will be available from Wednesday onwards for the Friday's examination, and it will be available from Thursday onwards for the upcoming Saturday's examination. So this is a recurring basis, unlike other exams where you have a fixed closing date, fixed date for admit card download. Not that way. This is on a recurring basis, because every Friday and Saturday you're having the exams. Similarly, every week you will have a closing date, correction date, and also date for the admit card. Coming to the result part, declaration of the result. The result will be declared within 7 days of the date of the examination. So if you write the examination on Friday, by next Friday you will get the result. So you need not wait for a long period of time for all the attempts to be completed, because decided by waiting for 1 week, decide on the result, and you can decide upon upcoming exam, you can attempt it again. So just by looking into your result on Friday, you can, within the next weekend, you can again complete your application and write the exam again. So that's the possibility in terms of the deadline and application. So total you will have a maximum of 3 attempts. We advise all students who are attempting NATA for the first time, if you are completing your 12th standard now and if you're writing examination, NATA examination, to become an architect, we strongly recommend you writing the examination all the 3 times, so that you have a scope of improving your score as best as possible. Like a past student, a lot of our past students have scored 150 plus marks in the NATA examination out of 200, and so those are considered to be amongst the toppers. So you can also clear the NATA examination with a wonderful score if you at least try to attempt it in maximum number of attempts which are available, that is 3. Now let us move towards the exam pattern, the number of questions. So in these 3 hours of time, what is the mode of the examination? How many questions are you going to have? Let us try to discuss. Let us have a discussion on that. So in this area, there is a minor change from compared to last year. So last year there was the part A, there is no change actually this year also. It is same as last year. But there is a minor change in the number of questions in part B. Till last year, so in the last year, the number of questions of part B were 45 approximately. There were 45 questions in the part B. This year they have made it 50 questions in part B with 120-minute duration. So let us talk about the details of this examination, part A and part B. So the mode of the examination for NATA, it is both. So you will first have a physical written test, or basically sketching based examination, and then you will have a computer based test as well after that. The time duration will be 90 minutes for this, and so this is 120 marks. The duration of it is the remaining, so it's like total 3 hours of examination, 90 minutes each. 90 minutes for sketching and drawing, 90 minutes for the computer based test. So the number of questions as far as that is considered, in the part A, which is drawing and composition test, that will be offline mode as in you need to, it is a physical test where you need to sketch on a piece of paper or using paper, and you'll also have a kit for the 3D question as well. We'll talk about the syllabus in a while. So the test duration is 90 minutes, and the weightage of these 90 minutes is 80 marks. Now you might think, okay, first one and a half hour it is 80 marks, next 1.5 hour it is 120 marks. This is a higher weightage. You might consider, okay, part B is very important because it has higher weightage, but actually no, because part A, if you see the number of questions, there are only 3 questions which you need to answer in 1.5 hours. So you have good amount of time of 30 minutes per question. So what are these questions? There are 3 sketching based questions. Question number 1 will be composition in color, a color based sketching composition question. The second question will be sketching and composition in black and white, which will be for 25 marks again. And the third question with the highest weightage of 30 marks in the complete paper of NATA, this is the question which has the maximum weightage of 30 marks, and that will be a 3D composition question where you will be given a kit, some material, you need to generate a 3D composition out of it. So it's a question based on 3D composition, something similar which involves the understanding of principles of design, skills of model making. So it includes all these techniques and skill sets. Those are tested in the third question, that is 3D composition. So total 3 questions are asked in the part A, which will be for 80 marks, 25, 25 and 30. So that is 30 maximum weightage to the third question. Then you have 50 marks for the first 2 questions. The duration is 90 minutes, 1.5 hour of time for this offline or basically sketching based test. Coming to the second part, part B, again that is very important because you have 50 questions, a huge number of questions, 50 questions in same 90 minutes of time. So same 90 minutes of time, so approximately you have 108 seconds per question. That's the time duration you will need to have. So you have slightly, so not even 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes of time per question. So how can you improve your score in that? Only with sufficient practice, only with proper thorough study of all the concepts in the syllabus. That's when you can score well in this part. And let us look into this. So part B, you're having MCQ and also NCQ questions. MCQ is multiple choice questions where you have 4 options, 1 option will be correct. NCQ questions are no choice questions where there are no options given. You'll just have an input box and you need to type. It can be a numerical answer, it could be something like that where you need to type the answer. There are no options, there's no choice to make. So multiple choice and no choice questions are based on a computer based test. It will be 1.5 hour, 90 minutes of time. The total weightage is more than part A, that is 120 marks. The number of questions also is mentioned in the official question paper pattern. There will be 42 questions. Maximum number of questions will be MCQ. That's a good thing because students generally tend to feel that these NCQ questions are a bit difficult. The number of NCQ questions in the last year pattern were higher actually. I think there were 15 questions of NCQ type, 30 questions of MCQ, multiple choice with 30, and these questions were 15. So they have changed that. Again, that's a good thing. So there are a lot of good things in the new pattern of NATA examination. It's only that you need to thoroughly prepare for the remaining time you have. So we'll talk about the preparation also. So there are 42 multiple choice questions with ABCD options, and then you have 8 questions of no choice questions. Total there are 50 questions with the total weightage of 120 marks, and the total weightage for the examination of NATA is 200, just like last year. It is 120 plus 80 marks for part A, 120 marks for part B. The total marks will be based on part A plus part B together. So there is no separate weightage like more weightage to part A or less weightage. So it's just the total marks will be calculated by adding your score of part A and the score of part B. So this examination will be, so like I said, it will be a combination of drawing, that is offline, and also computer based, that is online test, both together. So that's with respect to the pattern. Now I told you there are a lot of changes from this year with respect to, which are student centric changes actually. But from your end also you need to have a thorough preparation to do well in the examination. Particularly you need to score well in the part A. Just 3 questions, 1.5 hour of time. How to effectively utilize that complete 1.5 hour time to come out with the best possible sketches and best possible 3D models. For that, a thorough preparation without missing out anything is very important, and one of the most popular course for NATA in the country, which has provided a lot of successful results in the past, is our 51-day course. Now don't just get confused by the name of 51-day course. Don't think that okay, we need 51 days to complete it. The meaning of 51-day course is basically it is a series of lectures with 51 modules in it, 51 lectures in it. So you can, depending on the exam when you're writing, you can plan out your preparation accordingly. You will have all the resources with best quality video lectures content provided covering the entire syllabus. So it is up to you as to what pace you select. If your upcoming examination is, so if you decide to watch 2 lectures per day instead of watching 1 lecture per day, because the lectures are not very long and lengthy also, so you can do easily 2 to 3 lectures per day. If you are able to do just 2 lectures per day, you will be done with the entire preparation of NATA examination just in 4 weeks of time. Less than a month actually. So even if you start your preparation right now, you will still have time to write 3 attempts of NATA after the complete preparation also. But then, so instead of 2, if you are able to take up 3 lectures few days, you can be done with the complete course in 3 weeks of time also. So we have developed the lectures in proper segregated modules so that students are confident on their entire course. So if you randomly study without proper modules, you will end up in a situation where you feel that you did not cover the entire, in fact you will miss out topics and you will not cover the entire syllabus. So we have taken care, our expert faculty team from IITs have developed this particular course for NATA examination by covering the entire syllabus of the official question paper pattern, and has been upgraded to the latest NATA questions and latest expectations of the NATA examination by taking inputs from NATA 2024. We have revamped our lecture series with few additions to it. So the main highlights of this course, you will be having the link to purchase this 51-day course is directly available in the description of this video as well. Other than that, if you have any query, you can contact us. The contact information of our KP classes is also available in the description of this video. You can reach out to us and you can contact us for any further query with respect to this course. So in this particular course, which is available on the KP classes exam prep app, you have a total of 200 plus learning material with 80 plus video lectures, which includes some minor lectures for tips and also some lengthy lectures like 1.5 hour long lectures also. So there are small lectures which can be used as a supplementary tips based videos for smaller topics, small topic wise video, and then there are day wise videos, lengthy videos for thorough completion of the entire syllabus. So the lecture series, this 51-day course, so it is not only videos or video lectures, you have all the video lectures, reference documents and files which you can read from the study content, and you also have more than 65 tests for practice, which include section wise, topic wise, and also mock tests. Some past NATA examination papers also, which you can take up for your self practice to understand how well you're going to. So that will develop your habit of not sitting in front of a computer for the first time in the exam on the exam day. You should develop that habit even before the exam day, and that's where these mock tests will help you. So you can make use of these the 51-day course for the entire thorough completion of your entire syllabus, which includes topic wise lectures, and there are special drawing based questions and also 3D composition sessions which are included, which have been upgraded to the latest NATA pattern so that you do well in the part A. To maximize your score in the sketching part or the offline test of part A, for that we have some special drawing and also 3D composition questions with examples where our sketching faculty have created the sketches and shown how it should actually be done in the examination. So all you need to do, follow the step-by-step guidance given by the faculty in that session. You will replicate an equal quality of output of your sketching, and that practice will end up into marks in your NATA attempt. So You have all the required content. All you need to do is utilize it effectively to do well in the examination. There are a lot of practice tests. Like I said, all the content is accessible on the app and the computer, which you can access 24/7. If you want a longer access also, there are options when you are going to select the purchase. There are different validities which you can select through as per your expectations. So if you're preparing for the next year's NATA also, you can kickstart your preparation right now with all these resources. There are ebooks also included, study material books, a set of 6 or 7 books which complete the entire syllabus are included in the course, which you can use for your self-paced study. Books are included with a lot of theory part which you can cover under your self-study with a lot of practice questions, and additional guidance also would be provided by our expert faculty team, where regularly we would be conducting some doubt sessions where you can attend the lecture and have a discussion with our expert faculty with respect to the NATA upcoming preparation. Now, NATA course is not prepared by individually me. It is we are very fortunate to have a dedicated pool of faculty team, because you see the syllabus is not one topic. There are topics of sketching, there are topics of reasoning, there are topics of language. So we have taken care that we include the lectures for English language as well, because that is also a part of syllabus. We have taken care that we have included logical reasoning and visual reasoning into the preparation. That is done by a separate expert faculty of reasoning. There's a separate expert faculty of language, there's a separate expert faculty of sketching and 3D model making. So expert faculty of each domain have put in their efforts to develop, to build this best quality 51-day course, which you can utilize for your preparation to do well in every section. It's not like you will focus on only one part. It's not like if let us say for example I'm good in architectural aptitude. It's not like only architectural aptitude will be taught to you and you will do well only in the architectural aptitude. No, you will do well in the sketching part, in the reasoning part, in the language part, in the design sensitivity part, in the numerical ability part, everything, even the quant part that has been included in the course. So if you go through, you can check out the official syllabus on the NATA brochure. I'm not going into the details of it, but I gave you an overview already. The first question will be composition in color for 25 marks. The second question will be composition in black and white for 25 marks, where they will basically test your understanding of depicting a situation, people, anthropometry, environment, products, and understanding scale and proportions, textures and shading and shadow. So each of this, even though it's a single word, a lot of practice is involved. How to draw different textures, how to draw human proportions and animal proportions, how to draw daily objects, how to draw the shadows of all these objects. There is a dedicated lecture for each and every step. So once you're done with this complete lecture series, you can yourself develop a good sketch output or sketch composition for better marks in the NATA, for best possible marks in the NATA examination. The third question will be 3D composition, where you need to create interesting 3D composition for a given situation using the provided kit, which will include some material in it. It includes model making skills also, which needs to be inculcated into you. As well as part B, the computer based test is considered. It includes questions from topics of visual reasoning, logical derivation, GK and architectural design, which includes awareness of architecture and design, which can include basics of building materials, basics of building construction, basics of history of architecture. So it includes architectural terminology, language interpretation, basic English grammar, which is included in the course, like I said, design sensitivity and thinking, and finally numerical ability with an understanding of basic mathematics and creative thinking. All these topics, 100% syllabus has been included in the 51-day course, which you can check out with the link given in the description. Now coming to the cutoff part, what is the minimum score required to consider that you have qualified NATA examination? You can qualify NATA examination with a minimum score of 20 marks. So the total qualifying marks is 70 marks. This change was introduced from last year. Before that, there's only this weightage of this criteria of qualifying 70 marks is the qualifying marks. But from last year, they have updated this that you need to score at least 20 marks in the sketching part, that is offline test, and at least 30 marks in the computer test. And together, total you should score at least 70 marks. So 3 criteria. All the 3 criteria, if you meet, only then you will be selected, you will be considered that you qualified NATA. So if you're scoring 0 in the sketching part and getting even 100% of the marks in the second part, you will not be considered as qualified. You will qualify NATA only if you score qualifying marks in part A, that is 20 marks in sketching at least minimum, 30 marks of qualifying in the computer based test, and 70 marks total that's when you are considered that you have qualified NATA examination. And just like last year too, this year the NATA examination score will be valid for this and next academic year. It will be valid for 2 academic years. So all these 3 conditions have to be met. All the 3 conditions have to be met to be considered that you qualified NATA and to get a scorecard. And it's also important to note that if you write multiple attempts, all the attempts will be mentioned down in the scorecard. Your best attempt score will be considered as the final NATA score of this year. So like I said, best of the three attempts will be considered your final NATA score. However, the other attempt score also will be mentioned in the scorecard. Like I said, you have set of these 7 books for your preparation. All these ebooks are already added into the course. You can also opt to have hard copy of these books if you wish to study from booklets by thorough study. If you're not good at studying in the ebooks format, you can also opt with an additional you can also upgrade by paying some additional amount for the hard copy books to be delivered to your home. Otherwise, all the ebooks are already included in the 51-day course, like I said. The course structure, I'm sure you are aware, because our 51-day course has been very popular. You can watch out the first few lectures also are available on the YouTube as well. I'm sure some of you have already watched those lectures. If not, on the same YouTube channel you will find the lecture day 1. Actually, that was taught by me itself, Elements and Principles of Design. You can check out the lecture to understand the teaching methodology and how we basically practice past questions, and also look at learn the concepts in an interesting manner. You can check out our videos. So we have divided the complete official syllabus into various modules, including separate modules. From day 1 to day 4 we focus on the basics of design. Then we have a separate module for history of architecture, which comes under architectural awareness. We have a separate module for architectural terminology, which includes building materials, construction and architectural terminology, vocabulary. Then you have a separate module for visualization of objects, 3D visualization, different orthographic projections of objects and counting surfaces, mental ability and reasoning, which is a major topic in your computer based test. You have a separate module for quant, which is basic maths, which is also included in the syllabus in the computer test. English, the language based concepts of basic grammar included in the course. Sketching and composition, which is most important for your part A, with a lot of practice sessions and a lot of step by step approach to understand how to complete daily objects, figure drawing, shading and shadows. All the required skill set are developed with additional practice sessions and videos and questions, which are all included in the course. I hope this gives you an overview of understanding of what NATA 2025 is, what are the dates, what is the weightage, how to qualify and how to prepare effectively with a thorough. The most important thing lies, so if you are targeting for the best score with 150 plus score out of 200, all you need to do is thoroughly complete the entire syllabus in short span of time. If you want to complete the entire syllabus, there is no other way than other than having everything stored in one place, everything compiled in one place. And 51-day course is exactly what that is. All the required content, including lectures, including books, including practice tests and practice questions, all are compiled in one place so that you effectively can utilize your time and complete your preparation for the upcoming NATA examination. Hope that was an informative video. If you have any further questions, you can always reach out to us. The contact number of ours is given in the description of this video. Thank you.